kickstart with your SQL knowledge, probably you can refer one of the portal called W3 Schools. So if you are not familiar with the basics, at least in that level, if you wanted to start with your SQL career, probably you can brush up this tool. It's very simple and you can be able to perform things as well. So anyways, we are going to see all these sequels in our course also, but I am suggesting to practice on this portal. So this does not need any platform to try over there, but all the things you can read the theory here, right? And then you can execute here itself. Suppose you wanted to know how the select works, so here itself we can read and we can try it actually. So I always suggest to my colleagues who are trying to learn SQL. Um, it's all about you, but again, we are going to teach in the live session as well. So, so what I do is um, to practice our sequels, we are going to take a platform that is Databricks. We can practice on top of Data Factory also, but Databricks is more comfortable actually writing queries. Okay, that's the reason. So what we need to do is maybe it's time. I already told you, right? If you wanted to use SQL, see, you are working in IBM DB2, right? So maybe if you are comfortable, you can go and practice your SQL there itself. If you are already comfortable, you need not to brush up, just leave it as is. As a data engineer, you need not to be proficient, that much proficient, at least to complete your day-to-day activities like joins, functions, right, and some DDLs like creating, inserting, updating, all those commands. If you are familiar, it's fine. You need not to be, I mean, so much proficient to perform data engineering operations. It is not that much crucial also. So coming on to our practice platform, what we are going to take up is I am taking up Databricks. How I do, just for your reference, what I'm doing is I'm just taking up this. Click on create. Already we have discussed, right, how to create Databricks. So we give the parameters details and then we create. For today, save some time. We already created Databricks, multiple times. So I'm not going to create one more time. Instead, whatever the Databricks available here, I already created before the session itself. So I kept it available. So I'm just launching it, the Databricks which already created and kept available. So now you see. So this is how Databricks workspace looks like. On top of it, we are going to perform SQL operations. So everything whatever you do, right? Just to give a overview of this portal again, apart from the initial class what you've seen. So this is the portal where we'll be having workspaces. Every thing whatever you create will be kept under this workspace only. In real time also it will be the same case, no compromise. So in real time, you see right here workspace. If we go right, you will be seeing repos shared users. So users in the sense all the people from your team across your project who is having access, they will be able to see their respective folders. Always your folder will be keeping on top of this, not others folders. So your folder will be on top actually. So rest all it will be sorted out with ascending order. Here I'm the only one who created it, right? I am the only one user actually, so I'm able to use it. If I want someone to give access, right, I'm able to do it actually. Just go here and as I told, identity and access, manage. You can add another user, it's all about you. So you can give your email ID and password, it will be created. You can be able to add a user, it's all about me. So but I'm not going to give, because end of this class maybe I'm gonna delete this workspace for sure. So now coming on to this workspace, there is something called shared. So as you are progressing, you want to share some of your work, what you are doing it, right? You wanted to share with someone else within your team who is part of this workspace, database workspace which has been created, right? They can be able to get this content shared within this folder. And repos, as I told you, it is strictly for code repository, wherein Bitbucket or some GitHub, like a code repository to maintain your all your project code, right, will be kept. And then everywhere, every time, whenever right, how GitHub works in the real time, the same way here also works. Whenever you wanted to do any modifications to the existing report, all you need to do is create a, import the repos, the folder which is available in the GitHub tool, get the code, that is called pull request, pull into your workspace, add your changes on top of it. Again, you merge the changes, commit the changes, and merge the code into main branch. So that's how it works. We will see these GitHub classes later. I just want to introduce the tool to you. So this is nothing but catalog. It is Unity catalog where we are going to work. Okay, one person has messaged us. He is not going to join. It's okay. So workflows, it is for scheduling purpose. This is for data analyst when or whoever wants to use SQL Server, right? They wanted to write some tables and queries, some they want to perform. They'll be writing it. So and this is for scheduling. This is for ML. So all these things, let's park it away. We focus on how to create a notebook for today, and then how we can write the queries. Okay. So when I take this, I go inside the folder. Sorry, workspace, go here, users, go inside your folder, create a notebook. I'm trying to create my new notebook. So I let's give some naming. Okay. So I give the naming as class live SQL. So probably I'll keep a SQL class live. So naming I just given like this. Now what I'm going to do is I need to connect to some data. So what is SQL? SQL is a language which allows you to talk to your data, which allows you to talk to your data, like when the data is available there, you want to filter the data what what are the data you wanted to see in your for the some ad hoc requirements. So that in that case, you need to know some command to see the data what is available in the database or some files wherever it is. So all you need is you need to know the commands. In this case, I follow these commands, select, where, order by, all these things we are going to see in this also. So these SQL commands, right, are segregated into I think three, four types. So DDL, DML, TCL. So what they are, just you can DDL is nothing but it is for creating a table, updating the table inside. All those things will be called as a DDL actually, altering the table. So DDLs in SQL. DDLs are nothing but they are simply how you create the table, how you modify the table, how you alter the table, how you drop the table. Drop in the sense completely are going to drop your table, right? And then how rename the table what you created. So you can just Google like this. You can see the DDLs. Why we need create statement? To create a table, we need a, we are going to see create statement, but not today. Just today's focus is something else. I'm just giving overview what we are going to cover in SQL. So altering the table, we can alter, truncate the table. It is for truncating all the data. So like apart from DDL, we do have DML also. They are like data manipulation languages. So data manipulation in the sense, so table is created, you have to insert the data inside the table, right? So that inserting the rows, the data, the columns, the rows, how you insert, right, using this syntax. So you can just see update when already one record is inserted inside the table, how you are going to update it using update statement. So the same is with delete and lock also. It will temporarily to lock the transactions. So all these things. And DCL and TCL also. DCL is nothing but data control language. So wherein you are going to control the data, you are giving access to the table to someone or not. All these things, revoke the access in privileges, right? So that is called as grant and revoke. And TCL is something like committing. When you are doing some inserting, others should not come and disturb while you are inserting data into the table. So in that case, we create some save points and commit. Commit is nothing but it will save all the data. Save point is nothing but at one point you wanted to keep your current transaction. On top of it, you want to add it, right? Like a save point for your laptop also. So it's like a rollback when you want to undo all your changes. We go for rollback. So all these things try to, we will not be using all the things in real time. I would request you to focus on this DDL, create a table, right, and alter the table and renaming the table, something like this. And then second thing, what we need to focus more is um, DML. DML is just inserting, updating, delete. Yeah, this till here it is good actually. It is enough. So this and all it is for DBA, database administrator. Separate team will be there. They take care of grant and revoke of access to the table what has been already created. So these things will be separately covered. I mean, if you are enthusiastic, I recommend you to go through, and it's all about just practice the syntax. You go through it. So coming on to this portal, the W3 School portal, right? Okay, I forgot to mention. This is one of the portal. Maybe you can refer. It is clearly mentioned about DDL, DML, all those things. So apart from the class, what we cover, if you want to improve more and more knowledge, probably you can follow this. So W3 schools is if you are very new to the SQL area, probably. So I know that we are working professional. At least on some level, we do have some extent of knowledge in SQL. Probably you can brush up if you are already familiar also, just to try to see where you stand in the SQL standpoint. So now what I do is, this is my workspace, and then I'm going to perform DML, right, for today, and DDL also subsequently. So why I chosen this platform? As a data engineer, we are learning Azure data engineering. I can take Azure SQL also. On top of it, I would have shown you how to create a table, how to do select, where, and all. I would have shown it actually. But our intention, my intention is, I want you to more habitude towards Databricks, and get it practiced more and more. So it will be easy for you in real time, because most of the real time things, right, being happening on top of the SQL itself, Databricks itself. So wherein we use SQL, mean Spark SQL and PySpark, both the things are happening. So that this is the emerging tool. So that's why I'm focusing more on this rather than any other tool. You can do it in Synapse also, no matters, but it is extra edge I mean either of them actually. It is good tool where you'll be getting more hits in the market if you learn this. So now a notebook has been created, which is kept under workspace, right, under my name. So in real time also you do the same inside users, and your folder you'll be keeping your your notebooks. Probably you can create your folders also, just like however you want to do. So it's just a folder managing purpose. You can create multiple folders when you are practicing, but I'm keeping it just like this, because I'm going to sunset this environment workspace after some time. So now I want data, then only I can be able to practice, select, where class, and all, right. So I need data. The data can be an SQL server database. The data can be a Parquet file. A data can be a CSV file. Anything. It's all about your convenience. Okay. So it is better to use some files, because SQL server and all people are reduced to use them, although they are being used, but files are more famous in terms of CSV or Parquet. I will, so as part of this training, I will try to focus more on Parquet files, CSV files, Excel files, something like that. Okay, it is better to go with the market, with the trend, so how it is going on. Okay, so now when I want to connect to a file, that file to be kept in somewhere, right? So where I'm going to keep the file? Let us choose a storage account itself within Azure service. Okay, storage account I'm going to create. On top of it, I'm going to keep my file. Pretty simple. So what I do is, I will create the storage account first to make my data available. So for storage account to create, right, within Azure portal, I click on this, go inside this, create. This already has been discussed actually. Again, I'm telling you one more time. So you choose the resource group, and put a name for this, meaningful name, probably like this. Choose the nearest region, available region, and just follow the steps. Nothing. You don't need to do anything other than this. Just create. It will be created. Okay. So Now if you see, suppose this storage account has been created. Okay, just imagine I already created. So I'm opening this. So in this storage account, there are plenty of options. This class will be taken separately. The storage accounts are a separate class itself. Azure storage data like Gentoo I told, right? That is one of the topic. That time I'll describe more. So for now, what I want you to understand is what is container. So container is nothing but just a folder. It's a place where we store all your data, right? So you can create multiple containers also in a storage account. Okay, in a storage account, what we created, on top of it we can create containers. Okay, this is my container. So I created already. So if I want more containers in real time, there is chance for a lot of containers actually. Live class container like this maybe I can create. And if you want to create any other encryption or something, you can choose this. And you wanted to tell whether you want encryption. So all those things are not required now at this level. Security and all we are not maintaining. We'll just go ahead with all the default option. But while taking this storage gen 2, that time I'm going to cover in detail. So there are a couple of sessions are planned for that as well. So live class container is a container where I have created. So I want upload my file. What I will do, so I will click on upload. I will take my file. Where is my file available? I have my file available in somewhere in my local. So in real time also, your file you need to bring in actually. You need to bring in your file actually. So if you don't want to see now, inside the storage account, under a container, you're uploading a file, your input data file, source file. Now you want to keep it inside a folder. What you do is you'll create inside another folder like source file. If you give a folder like this, right, source. So inside this source folder, you are going to save your file. This is the CSV file I'm taking for the initial class. Now source folder has been created. Inside this file has been uploaded. You will be wondering on one point. You'll be wondering on one point. I don't have folder creation option here. How do I create in real time? Actually, there are specific tools as well. There are anybody dropped out? No, right? We are good. So there are specific tools as well, that is called as Azure Storage Explorer. Azure Storage Explorer. That is like an extra tool, Storage Explorer, to maintain your storage accounts. This is very much important, browser or storage account. If you create a storage account, you will be able to access these storage accounts very easily. Storage browser, it has been renamed. Earlier it was Storage Explorer. Now it has been renamed to Storage Browser. What is the purpose of this tool? This is other service. What is the purpose of this tool? If you want to organize your storage accounts very effective manner, creating subfolders, inside that another subfolder, many folders, something fancy manner, you can use this tool across your subscription. Across your subscription, how many storage accounts are there, right? All the storage accounts can be managed at one common point, right? So uploading files, all these things, will you can do it in very easy manner. This is nothing complicated tool. All you need to do is explore actually. The name itself, Storage Explorer or Storage Browser. Okay, just try to explore it. So but for now, we created a folder. Inside that, a file has been kept. Okay, now what I'm going to do is, so I need to connect to this file, CSV file, through my Databricks. So how do I connect? Some connection has to be established, right? Some connection has to be established. See, you are working in mainframe, so that will get the data from other systems. How do you get? Because of some connection that has been created. So other person, Ashok, I think so, is working in Power BI. So you need to know the credentials of where source file is available. That's why he is able to connect actually. Databricks also not different actually. You need to uh, create the source connection so that you will be able to get the data from the source. So for that connection we need to create actually. There are three ways to connect, right, source from your Databricks. One is account keys, access keys, access keys. Second one is SSO. Third one is service principal. We will discuss about that later when we come into Databricks session. Okay, that is one of the topic, very important topic. For now, we will focus on only first method, which is simple method to connect to a source. How do you connect? Through account keys of the data lake. This is called as data lake actually. Storage account is nothing but data lake. How do you connect to this data lake? Using account keys. So what I do is, I don't know how to write the commands. What I do is, I simply um, connection connection to a storage account in Databricks using um, access keys. If you type like this, Azure Databricks, because AWS Databricks also will be there. That's why we need to be specific. So now it has shown me the link itself. As I told you, there are three ways. Through account keys, you will be able to connect, and through service principal, you will be able to do, and SaaS tokens, you will be able to do. These are the three options: SaaS tokens, account keys, and service principal. Is it mentioned service principal as well? Yeah, Azure service principal. So if you ask me which is the most famous thing that will be used in the market, is Azure service principal. Why means it has more security than remaining two. More security. So in this case, account keys, you'll be directly exposing the credentials while making the credentials itself. It will give access to all the service, storage accounts. If your storage account has 100 files, 1000 files, everything will be, can be accessible through this connection. This SaaS tokens is particular to some session only, some folders or something actually. To some level, what type of access, read access or write access, everything can be given through SaaS token actually, SaaS tokens. So making a connection to ADLS, Azure Data Lake Storage, right? Azure Data Lake Storage, making a connection. There are three ways: service principal, SaaS tokens, account keys. If you make through account keys, it is straightforward. All the credentials will be directly exposed to everyone, right? Whenever people open this notebook, you'll be keeping the credentials here itself to make the connection. But in case of SaaS tokens, it will be, to some level, and whatever the data you wanted to show up to the customer, I mean whoever is accessing the notebook, that level only. Not all the folders, not all the data can be accessed from this portal, this storage account. So that can be restricted in SaaS tokens. The last one is service principle, that is corporate people will follow. It is best standards of making a connection to your sources. And target also, where are you going to store your files? Some, after doing some transformation, while after you build the data warehouse, where you are going to store your data? You are going to store under one storage account itself. So for that target connection also, you need to make it available, right? So what I'm saying is, for now we focus on only on account keys. This is the syntax. I'm going to take it up, I'll paste it here, right? So my intention is, I want to, my storage account is decided, this is my storage account, right? So when I go to storage accounts, oh, I haven't created it, I'm sorry. Did I create it? I don't know. Last time a new one, it's already been created this morning itself, but other storage account I thought it was created. No, right? I remember it was created. It is missing.
I think you had placed the file in container.
Oh, okay, 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 got it. I go inside this. This is a thing actually, I think so. Oh, only storage account is not created. Existing storage account itself, I have created another container actually. Yeah, true, you are correct. So this is my storage account. This is my storage account which I already just now created. Inside this I kept a file available, right? Circuits.csv. So here, what I'm doing is, I'm going to access this file. I know what is my storage account. I copy this because to create a connection, I need to paste here storage account. Just you paste it here like this. And then okay, so this is something nothing but we are making a connection, we are configuring it. Okay, spark configuration, we are doing it to connect to a ADLS account. Okay, so now fs dot azure, this is a format we use. Through account key we are doing, right? That's why we are mentioning fs dot azure account key. This is my container. DFS is Databricks file system. That is where you'll be able to make the connections. Core.windows.net is like it's a domain what we need to specify everywhere, every time. And DB utils or Databricks has multiple utils. We'll discuss about this later, and we can be able to create it. So just this level we are not going now. I'm not going to create the secrets. Simply what I do is I will create comma, I will keep, and in between another single quotation, I'm going to get the authentication key from the storage account for which I would like to connect to. So this is my storage account. This is my storage account, right? Here you go to, you know, account keys, where the account key will be there. Access control, event, data storage. This is my data storage and account keys. Yeah, access keys, sorry, not account keys. Access keys, this is a plate. So I am going to create, take my key. What is key? This storage account, Azure has made this portal available such a way, whoever wants to access storage account from Databricks or Data Factory or Synapse, whatever it is, right? It is allowing us to get a key from here, so that it is giving all the access to people actually. I'm going to take one key. It is having two keys actually. Default, you can type either of the key. It's all about you. It is like a password to make a connection to the storage account. So if you feel that it has been rigorously used, multiple people are always taking it, right? You can rotate the keys. What do you mean by rotation of the keys? Nothing but it is generate a new key every time, dynamic basis it will generate. So that current session you will be creating it. So someone see, like your Gmail password, you wanted to change it, right? That kind of thing actually, but it will be created on dynamic basis. I'm going to take a key, so that here I mentioned the Databricks storage account which I want to connect to, and I'm going to keep the key here. You can take key 1 or key 2, both are fine. So all about your choice. Sorry, here I need to keep yeah. Now I'm trying to run this with the option. So this is option to run. So as I told you, I need to have a cluster available. Cluster in the sense, like a cluster is nothing but it's a infrastructure. Whenever you want to perform something on top of your Databricks notebook, backend some processor should be there. That processor will provide the infrastructure. That processor will provide the infrastructure to you. Infrastructure in the sense, the processor, the machines nodes, worker nodes and driver nodes, all those things, it will be provided by cluster itself. So what is a cluster? So that cluster will be created under compute. First you need to go here. I just need to go to cluster. For now we are not seeing Databricks classes, right? Simply I'm going to show how cluster can be created. Just create compute. Compute is nothing but cluster only. So these are all policies. Whenever I'm creating a cluster, right? What are all the options maximum I should be allowed can be mentioned here. That is what cluster it says. And you need to choose multi-node cluster or single node cluster. So it will support only single, very limited people, one person. And multi-node cluster can be used for multiple people. Parallelly can be able to use. So something different versions are there. I will tell you all this about later point. For now, we can focus only on creating it. Just click on create. It will create a cluster like this. So it's already available. I started it, right? It is working in actually before the class. I want to save some time. So all you need to do is, for your case, you choose default option, and create a name actually, nothing else. Just keep your whatever the name you wanted to say. Just put some name, random name, and create compute. So that itself will take care of creation. Nothing, no, don't worry anything. If you are struggling for tomorrow's class, I will be able to assist you in the first session itself. Okay, practice it and come. So already my cluster has been created. It is available right in the compute. So I go to workspace. I go to workspace. Should I create and show you, or you are fine? You'll be able to explore yourself. I think you'll be able to create it, right? So I come to this place. I'm going to, once the cluster has been created, I need to choose the available cluster here. I need to choose the available cluster and make it So now I had a error actually. fs.azure.account key. Through account key, I'm connecting to storage account. This is a storage account, and this is the domain I have kept. And then I kept in double quotation. I kept the key actually, nothing else. The key has been completely copied from there. So now you see, I got an error. It is running. Only this command will run only when your cursor is showing green button. Okay, I already started it this morning itself. I have started attached it. Now I can only detach. I already attached it. It is showing green. That means it is ready to execute the queries. Make sure your cluster also is available like this. Now when I run this, I'm getting some error. Oh, okay. So the cluster was not available by the time. That's why it has thrown an error to me, and it is clear now. So why I'm saying clear? You see a tick mark, right? It has completed in 0.12 seconds. So the connection has been established. Okay. Now one this is a notebook, right? It will have multiple languages. It will allow you. So the code what is you written, right, in terms of PySpark, Python. Inside Python block you had written actually. Suppose you want to write this thing in SQL, right? Mostly this connection can be very easily be done in PySpark engine. We are starting right the cluster, so we can write the connection settings in PySpark. And if you wanted to use SQL alone, some if you want to write some select statements, you can write by using this by selecting SQL option. Now we are in SQL mode. Okay, you're clear, right? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to read the file what available here. Before reading, I will try to see the what are all the files available inside my storage account. So my storage account is live this one, right? Storage training ADE 456, right? So how many files are available inside this? If you wanted to explore it, right, just go here, containers. Inside this, there are two containers. One is this source folder. We have a file actually. So the same like other container also I do have. Here also one file is directly available, right? So I'm going to access both of the file. I mean, I wanted to see inside the container how many files are available, right? So to see that, what I do is I will write my. So here I'm going to keep the agenda, creating a connection through access keys. These are like steps actually. Whenever you are writing notebook, right, you are a developer, readable to should be there. Some other person from your team, they are trying to see what you are doing, right? You will be able to see from here. So creating, and then view the content available under storage account, container. That is my second step. Third step is read the content. Yeah, see, it is this tool is AI enabled actually, AI driven artificial intelligence. Whatever it is there in your mind, right? Suppose see, first thing is account keys connection creation, then seeing what is there in the content. Third one is it's automatically showing me. See, I'm not typing anything, just what I type is read the content. It's so much AI friendly. Okay, it will show the whenever you stuck in some issues also. Suppose I did a mistake. See, I did a mistake wrongly. I just put one dot here. I'm trying to execute it now. Invalid syntax. Invalid syntax. I don't know what is the syntax mistake I did. I know we know personally, but when you do diagnose, right? When you do diagnose, it will clearly remove the extra period at the end of the line. Dot. So this is the corrected code. It will give you the correct code and copy the code and keep it in this area. Again, it is going to work. Do you understand what I'm saying? So this tool is AI driven. When you are not familiar with syntax, even I personally I don't remember the syntax. I don't like it. I always Google it and I try. I use this diagnose option also. But provided you are go for some interview, definitely you should be aware of all the syntaxes also. For that reason, at least you should remember it. Okay. So uh, yeah, I am able to make the connection now. I already kept some sort of so this thing, right, to mark this usability, right, I'll go with the markdown language to keep some sort of HTML language, right, kind of markdown language, different language. It will allow MD language. You can keep your comments over like this. Actually, it will be very readability will be there actually. Okay. So now I created the connection. Second thing what I want is I want to list down all the files available underneath the container. So for that, I mean, you can use one db utils fs dot db utils dot fs, sorry, ls dot, you need to mention the path. Your path is the storage account container. So this container, under this container, so this is the storage account. Under this I have the container as source training 456. So how many files are there, I want to list down there. So for that, what I'll do, I need to mention this path actually exactly, so that it will show you the data files it what is available. Okay. Now what I'm doing is, so for that, I have kept it the path as, I mean, path has been kept it available. So this is a format you need to use. So if you are not familiar how to make this format, again I can Google it here itself. How to make connection to a not connection, ls command, in Databricks. If you type this, the syntax will be shown here. dbutils, you can be able to get your syntax. What I want to do, I wanted to do ls, right? Just type here. Ls is nothing but list directory. List directory. Okay. So I'm searching for this. Actually, this help will show you inside that you'll be able to get it. dbutils.data.help. If you keep, if you remove this, it will directly show ls command also. But for now, we focus only on SQL, right? So I'm just going to remove that. So this is nothing but what I'm doing is fs.dbutils.ls. So fs is always you need to keep it. dbutils, like it's a module where you'll be having a lot of commands with respect to Databricks. There are multiple commands actually: copy, movement, cut, ls. So many are there, showing mount points. Many are there inside this dbutil. So dbutils.ls, if you keep, it is going to show the path you need to mention here, under which you're trying to see the data. Okay. So for this, what I do is, I'm trying to use the same syntax. So you can get the syntax. Sorry, actually I first dot dbutils dot fs dot ls. I want to show how I get this syntax. Oh, it's taking like a website, huh? Yeah, some random website is being shown. dbutils.fs.ls, and the path where the file is available. Okay, you need to keep. So don't keep the, I mean, till path. My intention is I want to read inside the container how many files are there, and what are the files. I want to clearly see that. So that's the reason you are going to keep like this dbutils.fs.ls, and I'm going to end up here actually. Just only the container I'm going to keep. The files I wanted to show automatically. So for that reason, what I do is I will take this. So when I keep it here, so display, just for now you ignore what is display. I will tell you what is display. dbutils.fs.ls, and I'm going to mention the path. How I need to mention the path is abfss. So there are two types of connections. ABFSS is nothing but Databricks FSS points. So this syntax will be same. ABFSS colon double slash storage account name and container name dot DFS core dot Windows. Suppose you want to go beyond this, right? What you need to do is, suppose you wanted to see if you have another folder, input folder, just keep like this. So what I'm trying to say is, this is a command common. ABFSS is common. You need to use the syntax whenever you want to read a file from storage account. So colon slash slash storage account name, container name dot dfs dot core dot windows dot net. This is a domain, and you need to keep input actually slash input. This is nothing but inside your container. This is my container, right? So inside this container, sorry, this is a storage account. This is a container at the rate storage account and folder actually. So now I don't have any folder. I'm straight away I'm trying to see what is available inside. Okay. So when I do this command, so invalid configuration value detected for key valid. Okay. I am just diagnosing this. So first storage account key in a Databricks secret scope, then configure Spark session. Already secrets session has been created. No, I don't want to create it. Session has been already created. Make sure the value of authentication. Make sure the value of authorization header is only correct. Okay. Anything key has been compromised. So the error what I'm getting is I'm unable to make the connection. So I'm going back to my storage account to get the latest key. Security access key. I'll get the latest key, and I wanted to connect to storage. Storage training grade 456. I go here and I paste it here. Don't worry, in real time this will be automatically created for us. So I'm just okay. It is not properly copied. These are connections will be always kept available for us, but now we are trying to make our own connection. Why is this not copying? Keyboard. I'll try to keep this in notepad. So we rotate the keys, right? It is not able to properly authenticate it. That's the problem. Okay. The key is properly copied. I go to here. So I'm trying to connect. Just I replace this entire text here. I'm pasting it. So the fs.storage Azure account key, storage account name is storage training ADE 456. Yeah, that is what I kept here. DFS core windows.net, and the path is clearly mentioned. Okay, now it has established the connection. Okay, now it has latest key has given me the option actually. uh, First time what I did the mistake is I rotated the keys. The key has got changed. I haven't properly taken the proper file. Now what I'm doing is i'm I established the connection. Now I'm writing one more command here, dbutils.ls. I will take it into next this will gives you only connection. Next, I take another block. I'm keeping it display you remove. So I'm dbutils.fs.ls, abfss, source training 456, and this is my, this is the container name, this is the storage account name, and this is the domain name, dfs.core.windows.net. Okay. Now, inside the storage account, inside this container, what is the file available? I'm trying to list down the files available. So it is showing, but it is not so much clear. It is as per Spark syntaxes. So name is circuit.csv is a file. Size of the file is 1044. Modification time is this much. If you want to show it properly, right, there is command called display in Databricks. You can use this actually. So now with this, you will be able to see the path. What is the path you are trying to access? ABFSS, container name, storage account name, and domain name, and the file. So file name I haven't mentioned. What are the files available, right? It is being shown. Suppose it has multiple files, it will show this is circuit file, maybe another file, driver file, maybe another instruments file. All the files will be shown here, and name of the files it will show here like this. Clear, right? So these are the this is the syntax to list down. Display command displays put it in a proper format actually. This command is with respect to Databricks. We will see show, display, many commands are there. Maybe we can instead of using display, dot show if you put also it will work. While seeing the Databricks commands, we will get to know all these things. Now today's attention is I want to understand by using this file in Databricks how we are going to access, how we are going to write the SQL queries. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the file very clearly. So far I have list down the file what is available. Circuit is a file available inside the storage account, right? So my next agenda is I wanted to read the data what is available inside this. So this file, it has lot of data, right? When you see here view or edit, so it will show the data, right? This data I wanted to read from this this place. So for that what I will do is we are going to save this data, that circuits file data, CSV file data, in a temporary for table. The temporary table in Databricks called as data frame. I will tell you what is data frame later. It's like a columns and rows. It's just temporary storage file where we are going to store. We read the data from some place and keep it temporarily to view the data. Okay. For that, what I do is you give some name, df AD class. Give a name. This is nothing but data frame. You can give any naming convention real time. So now I'm going to read the file actually. How to read the file? Reading a file, again you need to read a file in PySpark Databricks. If you do right, so it will give you the syntax here. PySpark is a thing what we are using here. We can switch to SQL also. So just wait for me. So spark.read.csv. This is one way. Spark dot, where they are storing temporarily one table that is called as data frame, df equal to spark.read.csv. That is the way they are doing it. So from our side, what we gonna do is here spark dot read dot. I'm trying to using Spark session. I'm going to read my file. The format of the file is, see, it is still showing the syntax CSV, and the option is it has header or not. Yes, it has header. That's why I'm making it to true. So if it doesn't have header, make it to false. It will recognize first column should be left as blank, and second row onwards, I mean first row itself data starts actually if you mark it to false. CSV files will always not have headers, right? So that's the reason we are making headers column headers are there or not, we are specifying with the help of true option. And then the last one is load. So what it does load is, it is going to tell the path of the, see, when I type dot load, it is telling whenever you want to access a path. I already told you abfss should be always, you need to use abfss, and then abfss colon double slash container name, storage account name, dot dfs dot core dot windows dot net. And then inside that, if it has how many files also, I don't mind. I want to read only circuit csc file, because I format what I'm trying to read, I clearly mentioned here. So this is a way you can able to read it actually. There is other way also. There is syntax mistake. There is other way also. Just you can use this syntax also. df equal to spark.read.csv. Simply you can read actually. All these commands are not required. So there are multiple ways you can do this way also. So, but path has to be clearly mentioned here. In place of this path, I need to mention this path actually. abfss colon, wait, I should, yeah, like this I need to keep. This is the correct syntax. So now the path, see, from here only I copied the syntax. So I'm coming on to spark.read.csv. Path I need to mention here. And finally, my file name. My file name is actually circuits.csv. Clear, right? So now if you do with this, so it is using the cluster. It is using the cluster what is available here, training cluster. It is using the cluster. It is making a connection with the available connection what is already created, right? It is going to the storage account. It is trying to read the file. That is what is happened now. Cluster, without cluster you cannot do anything. Okay, so there are two ways. I think three ways. One more way is also there, I'll tell you. So for now, we can use this option or else this option, anything is fine, right? In place of you are reading a parquet file, you'll simply mention parquet. That's it, parquet. So finally you should have the parquet file available there. That parquet file should be parquet. Or excel means excel files you can be able to read. orc file means orc file. This read command remains same. Why I am reading, the data is kept available in the Databricks session. Now I'm going to write SQL commands on top of it. So once it is created, to tell the SQL, I'm going to work on this actually. Connection has been, the file has been read here. File has been read here. I'm keeping it under df underscore ade. When I run this, the data will be shown. This is the column, circuit reference, name, location. These are the columns and data types of the file. Now I want to see exact data. So for that command, so I'm going to use display or df underscore ade show. If I do like this, it will show the data also. So show will not show the data in a proper format. It will not bring up in a proper format. So that's why we need to choose display. Display or show, both are same. If you are able to understand with the show, it will, you can go ahead. So but display will show in a proper format. In a, see, when I do show like this, it is showing. So the column headers are not present. Rows and columns with a, proper table, it is not shown. So when I do display, it will be very clear there. See, headers are automatically populated. It is able to recognize very easily, and it's like a proper format, spacing and all. It will be very clear. Always go with display. Either of the things are fine. I mean, sometimes I use show also. It's all about me, my convenience. So how many columns are there? It will show here. So now what I'm going to do is to play with the data. This data I'm going to play around actually. So for this, what I do is I need to create a temporary view with which is understandable by SQL. So this data frame will be understandable by Spark. In case of SQL, what you need to do is you need to create actually temporary view to be created. So what I do is df underscore ade dot create. See the sessions already being provided by them. Temporary view. You choose this option. I mean, there are multiple views are there. We can discuss each of them later point. So for now, so just keep it like replace a temporary view, create or replace temporary view. If this view already created, it will replace actually nothing else. So now I need to keep df underscore ade. So this I'm going to store it in underscore SQL. Okay. This command data frame is for Spark. Spark to read the data, keep it in the Spark session, and this is for SQL. I'm creating another this thing. So I'm trying to create this like a temporary view. So whenever you see it is showing some mistake, right? So it is showing some mistake. So why it is showing some mistake, it should be saved in the same name. So it will show you the sessions actually. When I did a mistake, what it's showing is undefined data frame df underscore ad underscore sql. So you can always follow the syntaxes and sessions from the portal actually. So I'm by using this Spark based temporary table, I'm creating a SQL based view. So that view I'm giving name as SQL actually. So by using this Spark based data frame, I'm creating SQL based view. Let me create and see. So it has been created. Now you see, so the table has been still shown. Now we are good to go play around with SQL. Okay, so in this Spark session, in this notebook itself, the session is still available. It is going to allow me write some SQLs actually using the circuits file data. So now what I do is select star from, yeah. If we choose like this, select star from, select star from. So df underscore, what is that temporary view I created? Df underscore ad underscore SQL. Just keep it like this. I'm going to read. It's showing the data. See, unless you create a view, unless you read the file through Spark, unless you make a connection to the storage account, you cannot work with your SQL. So daily basis, first you need to make a connection. You make a you know um, Spark based read operation. You do it. Keep your data in a data frame. On top of the data frame, you create a view like this. Once view is created, you can be able to write your SQLs actually. Now df underscore adsql, it's a view. Data is kept, play, just kept to play around. You are going to do some sort of operation, select star from employees, or you want to make one filter. You can do anything actually. So this is nothing but SQL. So I want to give, this is only introduction. Tomorrow onwards, we will see how to play around with SQL. So when it is Spark SQL, what is Spark SQL? I'm going to rely on Python itself. On top of Python, I'm going to write my Spark SQL. Select star from employees. So here onwards, if you choose an SQL, you can write your, every time these are called as magic commands. Percentage SQL. If we choose Python, it will show percentage Python. Then only you'll be able to work actually. Sorry, Python, percentage Python you need to keep. So then only system will recognize you're working on Python. Right. So it is giving an error to me because you written SQL statement, but you're trying to run it in Python, module. It is not going to work actually. So you should be very careful. So when I want to write normal SQL, you can choose SQL also, because Databricks allows you to write normal SQL also. Databricks allows you to write Spark SQL also. There is a difference actually. What is Spark SQL? By using Spark engine, you are going to run the queries, SQL queries actually. So that is nothing but how we do is spark.sql. You need to choose Python. Default is always Python. Okay. In this settings, it will be mentioned. It will be selected in the settings. So that's why, here settings. Default is Python every time. SQL is on top of it. What you need to choose. So spark.sql. and you wanted to read the select. So now if you do this, select star from, and what is the table name, view name, yeah, or else you can read this also from this or this. So we are storing a temporary view, always you need to create them. So I'm just close this, close bracket. Now, so name spark is not defined. Spark, okay, there is a syntax mistake. Okay, so now what's happening is, instead of writing select star from employees, I'm writing through spark.sql. I'm telling my system that you write SQL statements only inside this. Whatever the SQL you want to write, 100 lines code also you can keep. Don't matter and doesn't matters. But you are going to perform this select operation with the help of Spark session. So it will be 100 times faster than the normal SQL. So in real time, we use SQLs also, direct SQLs also, but we keep it in Spark SQL. So if you want to write only, select star from employees, then you choose only SQL option. It's all about you. So some pipelines, some data loads we will make through SQL also. It's all about you, but performance will be slow instead of Spark SQL. You clear, right? So like anything inside the Spark SQL also, however you do SQLs, no, where uh, name equal to this you want to keep, where name equal to, so data is filtered with the help of where, but that should be displayed. Display of df1. Display is related to, Databricks actually, display command. So it is displaying only one record is just filtered. So for what? Silverstone circuit I have displayed. So the same, you got only one record, you filtered out. How can you work the same with SQL? I choose SQL. Now percentage command, magic command is shown. Select star from, um, I need to copy the name, view name, df underscore edsql. I go here, I'll keep it, where command I'll keep, and name equal to single quotation. This will work like your SQL only, your normal SQL only. Oh, I'm sorry, I put a wrong name here. Where name equal to, this one I supposed to put hacker hammering. So one time only you do this, view. On top of it, you can play around with your SQL. You can create multiple tables also, multiple views you need to create. So to make it clear, I'm going to tell the steps. First is creating the connection, creating a connection through account keys. That is one thing. You know how to create the syntax. I want to give you the syntax, right? I'm going to send you this end of this course, end of this class. So this is the step: spark.config.set fs azure account key. This account key, where you get it, right? Go to your storage. This is a storage account. Go to your storage account. Go to security. Go to your storage account. Security option will be there. Inside that, you'll be able to get your access key. Okay, where is that storage account? And here I go, and I go to access key, security plus networking. Here you go here and show it, copy it, and you come to this place. From here to here, you replace your key, latest key, and then this is common. Here what you need to do is only storage account you are going to mention. This is first step. Second step is, you want to list down what are all the files available. There is another command you can list down, that is not mandatory. That will be covered as part of Databricks. Don't worry. Third step is reading the file. read the file. So for reading the file, you have the syntax. This is the syntax I followed. Spark.read.format or else spark.read.csv. Simply you can read it. So you can do either you can use this way or else you can use the other way also. Yeah, only one way is been copied, other has been deleted. Yeah, sorry. So you can use read the file, the circuit file available under storage account. And third step is creating a view. Creating a view. So if you don't create the view, you will not be able to um, play around with your SQL. That should be kept in. This is data frame, this is temporary view. Both are different. This is for Spark session, this is for keeping the result set itself. Okay, once you create this thing, then good to go with SQL practice. So first class it will be more confusing to you. That's why I put it in steps actually. You can write any kind of SQL by choosing magic command as choose magic command as percentage SQL in a block, in a command block. Okay. So if you wanted to make a Spark SQL practice, spark.sql practice, right? Choose magic command as Python, percentage Python. I mean, you don't need to choose. Default, it will be there. And then write spark.sql. This is common. So in between some double quotes, you need to write your SQL actually. So inside this, everything whatever you want to write between all your SQLs, you need to write inside this. So the difference between this and this is it will use a Spark session. Performance will be faster than the this command. Okay. So here you will write all your however you write in SQL Server, right? Select star from employees, where class, like anything, all the things will work. All you need to do is choose the magic command as SQL actually. Am I clear? Any doubts so far?